Today's Bitcoin video, we're going to be focusing on 3 charts, 2 lines. The lines you see in front of you, the charts, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. Sometimes less is more. So anytime you've heard that, this is exactly what they're talking about. Nothing else, I'm sure. So Bitcoin on the daily chart to start us off with, we have a line chart, the blue. That's the price. However, unlike candles that you might be familiar with, we have a line chart, and line charts, no matter what you're looking at, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, those are the 3 we're looking at, they only factor in the closes. So unlike candle charts show the open, the high, the low, the close, the line charts just simply show the close. And why would you use this instead of the candles? Well, you can use both, and I would recommend using both. However, line charts can be simpler to find support and resistance averages, clear breakout points, and they could just be helpful to add to your toolkit. So if you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. If you want more information than what you see here on YouTube, follow us on Telegram. All that's linked below. So let's get moving. The 21 EMA, that's the yellow line. And all 3 charts that we're going to look at today, the 21 will change. So on the daily, it's the 21-day EMA. On the weekly, it'll be the 21-week EMA. And on the monthly, it'll be the 21-month EMA. You guessed it. Pat yourself on the back. You're a hero. So let's look at where we are. Clear and concise. We're under the 21-day EMA. What does that mean? Well, it's hard for any coin, certainly Bitcoin's included. We focus on Bitcoin because it's the market mover, like it or not. So if you're wondering why I'm making some videos lately, more focused on Bitcoin, it's because until Bitcoin regains the 21-day EMA, the 21-week EMA, it's difficult for altcoins to have sustainable rallies. So let's focus on Bitcoin first, and then once we get to certain levels that we'll speak in today's video, then we can get more into the altcoin fun stuff. So Bitcoin right now, we're making a charge up since January 22nd. We've been in a slight uptrend here, okay? We have some issues ahead potentially, right? The 21-day EMA is coming up. Currently just, right around that 39.4, 39.5 level. However, just getting above it is not the goal. You want to get above it, hold it as support, and then pull away from it, right? You can go look at any time that Bitcoin's gotten bullish in price for a sustainable amount of time. It's gotten above the 21-day EMA, and then not only that, but gotten away from it, right? And hold it as support, or not even, come back and touch it at all, even more bullish, okay? So that's the 21-day in a nutshell. Now, if you want to look for support and resistance levels, like I said in the beginning, it can be easier on line charts versus candle charts. So go look at the candle, right? If you want to know how to do this, it's right here. So on TradingView, right, you have this, it defaults to the candles, right? This is what you're used to seeing on, pretty much every video. However, you can see how potentially there's a lot of information on here. So especially if you're new, it can be very helpful to use a line chart because it's just the closing levels, and you can see pretty quickly important key levels that are approaching for the support and resistance. So looking at this, right, you want to use the most touch points for a level without breaking it. So let's go all the way back to our previous all-time high right back in here, which was around that 40, just shy of that 41K level. Now you have a touch point where? Well, 1 is right there, right? Fast forward, we broke it, come back up, test it, resistance, same level. Okay, fast forward again. There's a double bottom, and look what happened after that, right? Held that previous resistance, flipped to support, and we lost it in a big way right here. So as we get back up to it, this should prove to be a pretty big milestone for Bitcoin. If we can get above this and hold it as support again, we might be able to turn this ship around. This downtrend, this long downtrend, needs to get broken. And how we do that is step 1, get above the 21-day EMA, get above this level, which is going all the way back to over a year now, right? January 8th is when we made that first top right there. Okay, we've tested it multiple times, and on the daily picture, this will be significant. So let's, 1, get above the 21-day, and it's not significant enough just to get above. Why not? Well, look at here, right? We have one, brief fake out up, right? We poked our head up a couple days even, not just briefly, right? We held up here. We tried to get it bullish, but no dice. Then back down. So if we get above it, it's not enough. We want to get above it, right? Look, getting above it is not enough. You need to get above it, hold it as support, or not even, right? So we want, ideally, is to blast through that level we talked about, right? Get above here, blast through it, have a pullback, and either stay away from this 21-day EMA as it starts curling back up and the prices get up here. We need to pull away from it, or at the worst case, we need to hold it as support. So if we come back down here, we want to bounce just like we started doing back in July as we come up here. See, we didn't come down. We not only did we hold it as support, we remained away from it. So this is good times. If you break it, right, that's when your warning sign comes and, trouble brewing. Okay, look back in history. Look at the 2020 run up, right? We broke it, tried it once, kind of flirted around with it. As we get more bullish, you'll start to notice the 21-day EMA, the 21-week EMA. We're going to look at that in a moment. You'll start to hold these support levels, and then you can get these bigger bounces. And this is when, you get your night alt movements. When Bitcoin's above its 21-day and, pulling away from it, altcoins can really fly. And you don't even have to do that, right? Just this kind of movement, altcoins are flying, right? You're holding above your 21-day EMA. It's looking good. And historically, it happens every time. You have to get above your 21-day EMA, hold it as support, and then, you want to look at the bigger picture. What's the bigger picture? It's the 21-week EMA. So let's go look at the weekly and see what we can see there. Looking back at 2016, 2017, look at the weekly. This is now the 21-week exponential moving average. So as we're price actions under here, right, we got above it, and same thing. We're holding it not only as support, we're pulling away from it. Any kind of big retests, I apologize for the smallness here, but we can zoom in here. Any kind of retests, right, you're holding above that or hitting right on it. Look at the 2017, 2016 bull run. You don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to be around back then to see what I'm talking about. Look at the significance is huge, right? It should be blatantly obvious that is a key important moving average when we're bullish. And where are we now? Well, we're unfortunately not that close to it, which is why we're focusing on Bitcoin and not on altcoins right now, because altcoins tend to struggle more, as you're probably seeing, when we're under the 21-week, right? We've been here before, not that long ago, right? We're still rhyming with this. Now, what do I like about this so far? We don't know if the bottom's in. However, if it is, this is pretty significant because why? We have a higher low. Here's a low, set it back in July. So far, we have a higher low. Are we going to go back down and make a lower low? Are we going to double bottom, right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But what we can show you is that by the charts, if our bottom is in and we start to make our way back up here, we have a few things to be watching for. One, to the upside, we must take out these previous little bounce levels here, right? So this will be significant. We just talked about this one, right? This, these a little bit above 40. Now, on the weekly chart, it's a little bit different, right? Because we have weekly closes. Daily closes, weekly closes could be significantly different. So on the weekly chart, this 43K level, as you can see, previous support, flip to resistance. So 43, we get above that on the weekly, then we can start get cooking again. You can see the 21-week is still kind of moving its way down here. So that works in our benefit because we don't have to, do as much work. So maybe going in through the rest of February, if we continue our way up here, we can meet this 21-week EMA around that 43K level. We'll see, right? You can see how that could potentially be playing out. So let's hope for that. And not only that, but like any bull run previously, anytime we want to get back to all-time highs, we need to get above it, hold it as support, pull away from it, right? The simplest chart that you can make for Bitcoin right here. 2 lines, price, and look at this. Look, the September pullback bounced right off of, you guessed it, the 21-week EMA, and pretty significant. We came back down, we hit it, resistance. That was our rejected death move, okay? So until we get back above it, altcoins are going to struggle. Could we potentially get back above it soon? Well, yeah, as you just saw, potentially maybe going into March would be probably the earliest we could probably get above it, right? I don't expect just a parabolic run up just to go back to 50, 60K in the next, week or two, okay? I would expect this to take probably the good part of February at least to get back above the 21-week EMA, and that's only if we continue back up. We must break out of this, and this first steps you're seeing right here. We have to take out this peak to break this downtrend. That's how you break a downtrend. A downtrend is lower highs and lower lows. To break that, you must make a higher high, and that first higher high is right there on the weekly scale, 43K. Okay, previous support, resistance. We need to take that out. Okay, so that's the weekly big picture, right? Holding as support. That's what we're looking for to get those big moves. How about the monthly now? Let's go to the monthly, the bigger scale. What do you notice here? Pretty significant, right? Going back all the way to here. Now let's look at one more thing. So this is Bitcoin, unfortunately, only goes back to 2015, unless you put on the BLX. The BLX is Bitcoin, but allows you to see more back in history. So we can go all the way back here for price action to 2010 even. However, our 21 months started right here in March of 2012. Now, I wanted to do this because you can see the significance of going below the 21 month has only happened twice for a prolonged period of time. You might see that right there. What's that? The pandemic drop. We briefly went below it before the nice V-shaped recovery and back to happy times. Okay, so back in the 2014, 2015 bear market and the 2018 end of the bear market, right? We started the bear market back in here, came down to the 21 month. Initially, we kind of bounced a little bit higher than it, right? A couple times. So far, we've just went pretty much right to it. Not been done before. So this time is a little bit different, right? We've never gone that fast to it. So we're right at it right now. Very close. 21 month is currently, let's get an exact number. 36.6. So again, this is the BLX, so it's slightly delayed, right? But around the 36, 37K level for the 21 month. So this is significant. If we can bounce here, that would be, likely signal a continuation for me back to the upside. I think we would have done it back here, right? December 2019, look at this. So we came down, slight bounce, and then hit it, and then we would have bounced. However, what is this? That's the pandemic, right? So the Black Swan event, taking that out, I think we probably would have bounced here, and, we could have continued this trend right here. So if you omit that and bring these two lines together, we could have potentially bounced for the first time off the 21 month and held it as support. Hopefully we can do that now, minus Black Swan events. Okay, so maybe we do that. This should update. We had a big close yesterday, right? On the January monthly close. Now we'll see what February does. Historically, any bear red January has 100% of the time always led to, in all of Bitcoin's history, going back 10 years, has always led to a bullish green February. Kaboom. All right, so hopefully that is opening your eyes a little bit on a bigger scale. Maybe you've never seen a simplistic chart like this. And to do that, again, just click. You're on your default to candles, right? That's what you're used to seeing. You just go right up here, hit line, and it puts in your monthly closes. So hopefully this helps you. Let me know if you're new and if you learned something there. Okay, now if you're still here, let's give you a little bonus here. So let's go look at Mr. Gaussian channel. So one of my longtime followers and supporters, and I've done the same for him, is CoinsKid. So I appreciate the shout out on Twitter for the Gaussian channel. Let's go look at it, the 5-day Gaussian channel, because of that distinguished gentleman. So let's take off that. Let's put on the Gaussian channel and the 5-day Gaussian channel, and we'll keep our line chart because look at where we are. We're at the bottom of the 5-day Gaussian channel. Significant? Historically, yes. Let's go back and look. And why the 5-day? So that's the biggest question I always get. Why the 5-day? It has the least amount of fake outs and the most data. You can go to the weekly. I'd prefer you go to the weekly than the 3-day or the 1-day. So you drop down, we can just go look at it, right? Let's go put on the daily, and you can see how many times it just hasn't worked out, right? Too many fake outs. And you go to the weekly, and just maybe not quite enough significant data. But the 5-day is kind of the sweet spot, right? Not too hot, not too cold. Goldilocks got it just right, right? So this is the Goldilocks zone, the 5-day Gaussian channel. At the bottom of it, Historically, if you would have bought anywhere in here, would you have been upset at yourself for averaging your Bitcoin buys at $6,000? Right? It went lower, but years later, 6,000 seems like a pretty darn good price. How about the last time we're down here? The pandemic drop, right? You could have bought at, again, 6,000, 7,000. We went lower, but would you care? Years later, no. We're here again. Is it the bottom? I don't know. But years later, you're probably not going to care. You will care if you miss buying out and you start buying at the top of the Gaussian channel, right? Usually, these kind of moves come after a bottom visit from the Gaussian channel, and we're there now. So where we go from here? Well, the top of the Gaussian channel today is already at almost 56K. By the time we get back up there, the top of the Gaussian could be 70K. And you can see the top of the Gaussian is by no means the top of the price. Historically, we get well away from the Gaussian channel, and well away from the Gaussian channel now would most assuredly lead us well over 100K. Okay. So keep that in mind. Where we are now, where we're going, usually good times ahead. Okay. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, if I click the right one, we're at 26. Still in extreme fear. We're approaching now like pretty much the longest we've ever been down here, right? We've been in fear for a prolonged period of time. The relative strength index is, been historical lows. So a lot of kind of evidence shifting towards maybe a bottom is near. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do with what you will. Quote of the day: advice is like snow. The softer it falls, the longer it dwells upon, and deeper into it sinks into the mind. So it's a great quote. Think about it, or don't. I'll keep my advice like snow. All right, car of the day, or should I say cars of the day? My driveway. I wish. 4 McLarens. Pick a color. I'll take the yellow fella. Which one would you pick? Man, I can't imagine if that's one person's driveway, but they like Sennas and they got about 10 mil. I'd go with that 10 million for all 4. Yikes. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully you learned something here. Nice and simple. As much as I could. All right. I love the memes with the wrong quotes. The triple wrongs, right? Not Rambo, and not Rambo. All right. See you in the next one.